Well, good morning, everybody, on this glorious, wonderfully sunny, breezy, refreshing Belmont Stakes Saturday. Okay, so 150 years of the Belmont Stakes. Isn't that something? Think about the history. Fascinating history. 150 years. Tells you a lot about the sport of kings, and think about the depths of the Triple Crown racing, and how much is just the sheer history of it all. It's kind of sort of fascinating. Anyway, it is 150 years. Here we are, Belmont Stakes Day. Most of the time I offer a very detailed written analysis, but today, instead of writing and sending the script out, I decided on a video for you fine people. Okay? What I'm going to do, I'm going to give you some very informative information about each one of the horses, 10 entered in the field. Coincidentally, all 10 horses entered in this year's Belmont Stakes, all bred in Kentucky. All 10 horses have never raced on the Belmont Strip. Not one of them. And obviously every one of them have never taken to the 1.5 miles, today's distance. Test the champions for sure. The run for the carnations. If you haven't known this over the years, when the horse wins the Belmont Stakes, they put a beautiful bed of carnations on him. So, and over the years, I've offered some gems in this race. Those that know me, over the years, going back now 11 years, horse I fell in love with, Rags to Riches, a filly. She became the first filly to win the race in over 100 years. And that's right, Mr. Sette, I liked her. I loved her that day. And a wonderful winner. Also over the years, if you know me, and many of you do, I provided monsters like Thunder Gulch, Touch Gold, Empire Maker, Creator, and most recently, not too recent, but going back 5 years, Union Rags with Jerry Bailey. So I have a history of handicapping this race successfully, all right? So I'm hoping you take in everything I say and share. And perhaps you can use it as a guide to your success today as you venture out as a fan or as a someone that's putting your hard-earned money up. Trust me, you have a better chance of winning if you take into consideration all I'm sharing. Excuse me, let me drink some coffee. There's going to be a lot of hype with Justify. Very talented colt, 5 for 5. But you know something? It's a bit exaggerated. Yes, quite an accomplishment, not winning. Excuse me. Breaking the Apollo curse, not racing as a 2-year-old, winning the Kentucky Derby and winning the Preakness, even though he never raced as a 2-year-old, quite an accomplishment. Very talented horse, wonderful connections. Mike Smith's a class guy, knows how to ride, a legend, if you will. And Bob Baffert is one of the best trainers, if not the best trainer on the circuit here in this country. But I am taking a stand against him only because of the hype of the Triple Crown, the fact that I believe he's tired. If you watch the Preakness, okay, sort of he regressed. His buyers indicate that. He had triple-digit buyers for his first 4 races of his career, and he dropped it to a 97 with the Preakness. He also had absolute perfect conditions for him with the slop and the misery. So, and with all his wins, he seems to, and this is a fact, he wins by much less in terms of his winning margin. He went from breaking his maiden, winning by 9, winning the optional claim by 6.5, winning the Santa Anita Derby by 3, winning the Kentucky Derby by 2.5, and then winning by half length in the Preakness. Does that matter much? Not really, but you know something? He's breaking from the rail. I think he'll show speed, be on the lead, either first or second for a good 3/4 of a mile. I just think he's going to be pressed, and you're asking a horse to do too much, not having the physicality of a 2-year-old campaign, being able to develop. He's a wonderfully looking horse, and he should be favored here because he's got great talent, but I just think he's out of gas. I saw it with my own eyes in the Preakness, okay? So one other note His workouts are good for this race, not outstanding. And keep in mind, never raced on Belmont, and I think he favors a wet track. Has he won on a fast track before? Absolutely, but in very, very small fields. And you got to take into consideration his race schedule, all the races he's run. All right? I'm limited time with this video. I'm going to try to keep it at 20 minutes, so I'm going to move on, give you some other statistics. By the way, on that note, I think it's like 23 horses have won the Derby and the Preakness but failed in the Belmont. Why? Because the Belmont is an extremely demanding mile-and-a-half, very arduous. That's why only 12 horses in the history of horse racing have won the Triple Crown. Only 12. Okay? So keep that in consideration. Recently, horses like Silver Charm, War Emblem, put some notes together, Big Brown, California Chrome, Smarty Jones, all heavily favored in the Belmont, failed to get it done. Keep that in mind, okay? Let me move on. I'm very excited about Free Drop Billy. Fascinated in a way. Free Drop Billy, trained by Dale Romans, big guy, Dale Romans. I like the connections. I trust the jock, Alvarado. Is he world class? No, but I trust him. He's won with him before. But what's very impressive, Free Drop Billy was one of the best 2-year-olds in the country last year. If not the best, probably next to Good Magic. Raced wonderfully, proven Grade 1 winner, working brilliantly after being wiped out at the Kentucky Derby. Wiped out, never having a chance, buried on the rail. He stays at Churchill, then he breezes in 59-1 and 59-3. Those are breezes, okay? Prior to the Kentucky Derby, actually there's a third one, 47-3 breezing. So he's got these 3 wonderful breezes that demonstrate fitness. This horse, as a 3-year-old, he's 0 for 4, which is going to produce this inflated 30 to 40 to 1 odds. But he was dynamic as a 2-year-old, including blitzing and defeating Bravazzo at 1.116 miles, okay, in a Grade 1 by 4 lengths. So Bravazzo, who's the number 3 horse, who's going to be 5, 6, 7 to 1, was blitzed and beaten badly by Free Drop Billy as a 2-year-old. Talking value? Of course I'm going to play Free Drop Billy at 35, 40 to 1 over Bravazzo, who's going to be 6, 7 to 1. Sheer value. Plus, Free Drop Billy constantly having bad trips. Barthered, bumped, impeded, blocked, brushed. This horse, yeah, a calamity of problems, but you know something? He gets the 2-hole, just a 10-horse field. He's going to show tactical speed. I was just hitting a bee by me. You're going to see a big effort from Free Drop Billy. I actually like him. I like him a lot. I'm not going to call him the winner, but I think he's going to hit the board for your exactas or triples at 35 or 40 to 1. He's going to be dismissed because of his lack of success in 2018 as a 3-year-old, but he's had a ton of excuses. I do trust the connections. And by the way, bloodlines, his daddy, look no further than his daddy, sired by Union Rags, who won this exact race. Union Rags. His father won the race. So trust me, he's got the bloodlines and the pedigree to win this race. Certainly hit the board. Free Drop Billy, Mr. Sette's long shot of the day. Next, Bravazzo. I mentioned he was wiped out by Free Drop Billy as a 2-year-old. Nice colt, 10 races, raced well as a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old. We saw what he did in the Preakness. He finished full of run. He's got good connections, even though Wayne Lucas is a little long in the tooth. Say as I trust, but I cannot play Bravazzo at 7 to 1 or 6 to 1 when Free Drop Billy laced into him. I just can't do it. So Bravazzo I'm throwing out. I think he could be used up. Number 4, Hofberg. All right? I trust the connections of Belmont and Ortiz, sort of the wise guy horse. Lightly raced, only 4 races lifetime. 1 is a 2-year-old, 3 is a 3-year-old. Again, just as everybody else, never raced on Belmont soil. He's working well. He did show great improvement in Kentucky Derby under those horrible conditions. I think he'll make a run in the stretch, so he is a threat in the stretch. He does have the bloodlines and the pedigree to go a mile and a half. But I'm thinking Hofberg, maybe third or fourth. Not good enough to be first or second, but a threat in the stretch. Restoring Hope, number 5. Bob Baffert's other horse, complete throwout. Florent Garou, nice rider, but this horse, three races to break his maiden. He's a grade 2, maybe a grade. I just killed a bee. Maybe a grade 3 horse. He's not a grade 1 horse. He's not going to go to distance. Bob Baffert's got him in a race. You know Bob Baffert wants Justify to win. He doesn't want Restoring Hope to win. It's almost like a conflict of interest. So I think the connections, the owner, is just going to enter this horse in a race just to say that he ran a horse in the Belmont Stakes. Don't like him. He should finish 8th, 9th, or 10th. I'm throwing Restoring Hope out. Gronkowski, popular name. Everybody knows Gronkowski on the Patriots. That alone is going to drive the price down. This is a horse making his U.S. debut. I love Junior Ortiz, wonderful jockey. Chad Brown's one of the best trainers out there in this country. Probably the best turf trainer. He's also great on soil. But I can't ask a horse coming from Great Britain, even though he won 4 out of 6 races, to come to the United States. He's never been out more than a mile. To beat the best 3-year-olds in our country, even though he's Kentucky bred. He's only raced on synthetic tracks or turf, never raced on soil. He is getting Lasix for the first time, which could give him that jolt, because Lasix being administered for the first time improves a horse, almost always, right? Everybody else in the race is getting Lasix because we allow it here. He's getting it for the first time. But because of the name, Chad Brown and Ortiz as the connections and that Gronkowski name, his odds going to be like maybe 6, 7, 8 to 1, maybe 9 to 1. And you know something? He should be 30 to 1. So I can't use him. No value. Again, maybe for late gimmicks, back-end superfecta, 4th or 5th, something like that, but I'm not using it. Number 7, Tenfold, my top choice. I'm doing it because I believe in Steve Asmussen, great trainer for Gun Runner. I trust Santana, consistent, reliable jock. And Tenfold, in my opinion, was bumped and blocked in the Preakness. Should have won the Preakness. Was finished full run. Nice works for the race. Constant improvement with his buyers. All right, 87, 90, 92, 96. I think he's set for his best effort in this Belmont. By Curlin, proven to go to distance. His sire was a multi-million-dollar winner. I thought about taking Free Drop Billy on top, but I'm choosing Tenfold as my top selection. Free Drop Billy second. I'll go into the full triple and superfecta for you. Let me just move on. But I am very impressed with Tenfold. I think he's ready for a big, big effort. Okay? Let me just take something off my screen there. Vino Rosso. Gotta trust and respect Todd Pletcher. Johnny V. Had a big excuse in the Kentucky Derby, wiped out from the 18th hole amid those horrible conditions. I think he's going to come powerfully. He's working well for the race. I think he's going to put on a big stretch run. I actually like Vino Rosso to be 3rd or 4th in this race, and he could better my rating if for some reason Tenfold and Free Drop Billy don't fire. So Vino Rosso is a big threat in this race. You got to trust me with that, okay? Someone else is texting me. Let me get that off. All right. Noble Indy will show speed from the outside. Again, Todd Pletcher. Coincidentally, the same outfit that owns Noble Indy also owns Justify. Castellano, world-class rider. The horse has speed. It's breaking from the 9 hole. Should angle in. You'll see Noble Indy up early. If the pace is slow, he could last a lot longer. I'm impressed with his works as well. He's taking his blinkers off. Key equipment change. He's 3 for 5 lifetime. I still think he could be a grade 2 horse. He's not out of it. He's not out of it. If I was going to use Noble Indy, he'd be used in deeper gimmicks. Lastly, number 10, Blended Citizen, Doug O'Neill. Not really impressed with his overall body of work. His buyers are too slow. Surely an outsider. He does have 10 races lifetime. A couple of his wins were impressive, and he does have the bloodlines to take a mile and a half, but I just can't endorse him to be in the top 3 or top 4. So he's going to be, you can't kiss all the girls. I'm throwing him out. So if you've been able to understand what I've shared, this is my order of finish for everybody today. And then good luck. Maybe you can make a lot of money. Okay? Tenfold, number 1. Free Drop Billy, number 2. And he could shock the world. He's going to improve today. If Free Drop Billy doesn't improve today, he's going to shock the world or improve in the Travers, okay? Or in the Haskell. He's going to win because he's got that raw talent as a 2-year-old. So, tenfold, Free Drop Billy, Vino Rosso, and Justify. Justify obviously has the talent to climb up the board, even win. But I'm not playing him. But if you're going to box triples, exactas, superfectas, throw him in there. But shock the world, all right? The triple I'm offering of tenfold Free Drop Billy and Vino Rosso, woo, you're talking about paying about, I don't know, $4,500 to $5,000 on a $2 wager, all right? If Justify wins, he wins. You know what? If you're going to use Justify, if you're confident, defiant, you want to have a triple crown, he's got the talent. You're not getting much value. Okay? Like I said, wonderful connections, wonderful horse, Mike Smith, Bob Baffert, the whole shebang. But 23 other horses have failed at odds on after winning the Derby and Preakness, and they were very, very much like, even more conditioned than Justify. Throw them in there. But you know something? My main plays are going to have him either 3rd, 4th. Okay? So my order of finish, tenfold, Free Drop Billy, and Vino Rosso. Enjoy the day at beautiful Belmont Park. God bless America. Please provide comments if you'd like. I'd like to hear from you. I know what I'm talking about. I've been successful before in this race. So you have a great day amid the wonderful sunshine here in New York. Take it easy.